Hi everyone. Now we are going to see the module capacity and location planning in the subject operation management. So in this topic, capacity and location planning, we are going to see some important topics like measuring capacity, capacity decisions importance, and determinants of effective capacity, what developing capacity alternatives and evaluating the alternatives, and then location decision, how we are going to see the location decisions, and what are the general procedure for making location decisions, and what are the types of process layouts. All are we are going to discuss in this entire module. In this first video we are going to see about what is capacity planning, and what are the main topics, what are the definitions for capacity planning, like that we are going to see, right? So first, capacity means we know what is the ability to produce. Okay, capacity as a ability. So when we are considering a machine, what is the capacity of a machine? So, or a man, what is the capacity of a man? So that is the maximum output that they can produce, the output rate of a facility, we call it as capacity, right? So the capacity planning means what? It's a process of establishing the output rate. So when a machine is there, how much it can produce. So why we need to calculate is for future, right? So a man capacity or a machine capacity or an industry capacity, all the things is in planning this capacity is called capacity planning. And there are three different variety of definitions out there. The types of capacity, we say design capacity. First one is design capacity. What is the design capacity? That is the output of an operation that can produce continuously at the maximum rate without stopping. When a machine is running, normally in industries, all the machines are running per shift, not per day, two shift or three shifts, like that it is running. And if we want to calculate a capacity of the machine for a particular week, okay, so that this capacity, design capacity will, how we will decide is, we are assuming that for continuously it is working. If the machine is continuously working without any stoppage, how much it can produce. So the ability of the machine, if does not stops, okay, then how much it can produce, we call it as a design capacity. But it may not be the perfect one, because it cannot expect always it's working. So it's just a theoretical number that we can judge, or we can say that we are assuming that if it is working, how much it can produce. Okay, so this is called a design capacity of a machine or design capacity of a facility, right? So then what is next is effective capacity. So effective capacity or system capacity. So in this effective capacity, it's we are considering the working time. Okay, so in an industry, suppose we are taking an industry is working per day, one shift per day, then weekly 6 hours, 6 days it's working, Saturday Sunday holidays, like that. If it is there, then the normal working time frame we have to consider. The normal working time frame is number of hours per shift and number of days per week, like that. So the working time only we are considering, and in that working time, how much it can produce, the effective capacity. This is called effective capacity or system capacity. So that is another term we call as available capacity. So a machine without stoppage, if it continuously working, and if it produces that's what we can imagine, that this much of amount can be produced, means that is called a design capacity. And if we consider the days, holidays, and only the working days, only the we are considering the working timing, then what is the amount that it can produce. We can take it as an effective capacity or the system capacity of the facility. And there is another one is actual capacity. In both the cases, if you see, we cannot expect that is everything can be perfectly it will move, but unplanned losses, that's what we have. If we know the actual capacity, sometimes suddenly due to a breakdown or accident, it may stop, a machine can stop. So then what the work rate, what is the output of the machine we are getting is the actual capacity of the machine, right? So sometimes some days the faculty or the staff or the working worker in the facility in the machine may get absent, so that the entire machine can get stopped for until the another person come and operate. So that time the hours what it is getting wasted, we are unable to have the exact detail. So the actual capacity is the capacity where we decide the unplanned losses also, right? Unplanned losses like absenteeism, machine breakdown, etc. And what is the importance of capacity planning? Why we have to worry about this capacity planning? Why it is needed? So in a company, a capacity planning is a must. Why? Because of it helps to meet the future demands. So already in the last classes we have seen about these functions of organization, where the marketing people will analyze and tell what is the demand for the next month or next week. So if there is a demand in future and whether we are able to produce it or not, okay, so that we are going to make it, how to make it, how, what are the machines we are having, okay. So according to that we can plan how much I can produce. So this is the main important of capacity planning. We can decide the output, the future demand, whether we can satisfy that or not, we can come to know that. And we can plan for the delivery schedule. Suppose the customer asks next month I need 1000 component, 10,000 components, like that, whether we can produce 10,000 components in the next month, whether we can schedule that or not, how will we come to know? Only if we know our capacity of the plant or the facilities, then we can decide the schedule, and we can make a maintaining cost of maintaining the facilities. And competitiveness, mainly for it will help for competitive to the in the market, okay. If you want to survive in the field, if you want to compete another person, and if you want to produce more, then you have to make a competitive that is capacity planning, whether we can do it or not, okay. And it will help for the managing the facilities, so it makes easier the management to take decisions, and whether we have to have investment or not, so that we can design in that. So there are some steps in capacity management. So environment impact. So first of all we have to check with the environmental impact study, whether our capacity, what is our facility, it depends upon the impact study. And demand forecasting, what is the next month forecast or next week demand that is required. According to that, then we have to assess our capacity, existing capacity we have to assess. And it helps to show the difference between the demand and the what our capacity it will show, so that we can identify what are the alternative methods to improve the capacity, okay. Different methods to modify the capacity. So evaluate the techniques which are all there already we have studied. So feasibility study of alternating capacity plans we have to study properly, and which is the best plan to improve the capacity we are going to study, and select the best plan, then only we can implement it. So if you implement and monitor, we come to know that how the capacity of our product is there, and whether our facility is to be improved further or not, we come to know it. So in this video what we have seen is the definition of capacity and the importance of the capacity planning, and the steps how to make the capacity planning, right? So in the further classes, we will see this remaining portions of capacity planning. What are the this next capacity planning is definition of measuring and capacity. We will see in the next class.